We are live. What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to another edition of Respect the Craft. This is episode number 170. And I'm joined here by he is paid in full. He is the captain of the Fallout Shelter, the newest member to Jobber Tier South. He is Anthony Gamble. What's going on, man?
What's up?
How's everything, man? How's everything? Thank you again for joining us here.
There's no problem.
All right, there we go. There we go. Once again, before we start doing any of this, we want to again send out deepest condolences and well wishes to the families of both Terry Funk and Bray Wyatt. Just crazy hits this week to the wrestling community. So again, well wishes to both of those. And truly just insane what losses we had this week.
Absolutely.
But now let's get into this here. Let's start talking about. Well, again, you heard the name of the podcast. It's called Respect the Craft. So I want to ask you, when you hear that term, though, when you hear the term the craft, what does that mean to you?
It means respect the art of wrestling. Like respect the ones that came before you and like pay homage to that. That's what respect the craft mean to me.
Gotcha. That's perfect right there. So let's start getting into this. Let's start having this convo here, because I want to ask you again. The question everyone usually wants to get into is, what is it that made you fall in love with wrestling? What is it that gave you the fandom? But for me, I always like to find out what is that made you decide not only are you a fan of this, but you have to step in there. You want to be a wrestler. What was it that got you to make that choice of like, not only do I enjoy this, I need to be a part of this?
I mean, I always knew I wanted to be a part of the business, but I didn't know in what aspect. But like I say around like 14, 15, like my grandfather like really was like big on wrestling, and like he like introduced me. Well, I was already watching it, but like he was the one that was like helping me like look up schools and stuff, and like so when I broke into the business at 17, it was like, well, all this was like through him, and like he helped me get to like find a school, like maybe to be like, well, this is how you should go about doing something, or maybe you should relocate and go here. But my grandfather was like one of my biggest supporters and one of my biggest inspiration as far as like the business.
Gotcha. No, that's awesome to hear, especially to have already starting out, have someone that's supporting you and making an easier decision there. So I got to ask you though, for you, once you're in it though, once you're starting the training, you're getting into it, what was that moment for you that made you just it clicked that it's like, you know what, I made the right choice. This is it. We're going full here.
That first bump, always it's always the first bump.
I love that that's just been the common answer. Like, and again, I can't lie because it's the same for me. The minute I felt that first bump, I was like, that's it. There's nothing else.
Nah, yeah, because yeah, the bump hurts, but like it felt real.
Yeah.
Like now you're in it.
Yeah.
Like you can walk away, but like, do you really want to?
Yeah.
And like seeing, like especially like early on with me in the business, I was very fortunate to be around like good people. So like seeing like where they was at and where like their careers was going, like as we was training, it was like, well, that's gonna be me one day. So like that was like a big inspiration, especially after that first bump. It was like first bump, first tackle, first drop down, now first leapfrog type of thing.
Gotcha. No, definitely. Again, it's that start, and then it just keeps going. It's like the domino effect of like,
Right,
well, here
right,
we
right.
go. Now we got to go through the rest. So let me ask you then, from a moment like that, being that person years ago, stepping in, getting to learn under some great minds, getting to be peers of so many, and then now you're getting to be that person to help out the next group and be a part of that as one of the captains at the Fallout Shelter. So how has that been for you, getting to now share that knowledge that you've been able to pick up, especially from the mindsets that you've worked around?
I mean, that's secretly one of my blessings of like passing on like the knowledge that people taught me to pass on to like the next generation. As far as like at first I hated teaching people, like I hated it. But like you grow to love it because like you see the passion that they have, especially like when you see that they're messing up and messing up and messing up and then they get it, like you are happy for them because now it's like, well, you was once there once upon a time.
Gotcha. No, definitely. And I feel like that has to feel just that accomplishment of, you know what? Hey, again, I was doing that at one point. Someone was probably like, yo, come on,
Right.
let's go now. Let's come on. We got the next thing to do. But to see them accomplish it, it's like it's a whole nother feeling of like, you know what? I was there for that. I get to see them now blossom into what they become.
Right, because you never know what someone can become. Because
Yeah.
they can not know how to bump one day and then now they doing moonsaults.
Yeah. And again, that's the progression right there. Here we go. We got the comment from my boy at that punk Isaac asking, Ayo Gamble, would you wrestle Loki? Oof.
Absolutely.
I,
I, I
I gotta throw out Loki out of just from the jump.
hey, actually, like he's a New York legend, so like
Yeah.
that is like one of my like goals to like wrestle like all the pillars of New York.
Okay.
Like you said, is respect the craft,
Yeah.
and like you gotta respect who came before you. So like Hamas,
Definitely.
Key, Kingston, like guys, like that is my mark that I really, really, really want to get to like wrestle guys like that and like earn
Gotcha.
their respect, and now maybe become like the next pillar of New York.
Got you. There you go. I just made me skip through my question because I was gonna get to that eventually about that list, but let's just go to it now. So that's amazing to hear, especially having that because that's the same with me. My idea is always having that respect, especially for guys like that. That without them, who knows if we're here? Who knows if there is an indie scene like this now? So to hear something like that, that's awesome. So here we go. We got our boys Wes and Kyle in the chat. Thank you guys for the love and support. Thank you guys for always being here. And here we go. We got Smiley as well in the chat. Good evening, gentlemen. What's going on, Smiley?
What's
What's
up,
up,
Sm-
brother? Oh, here we go. Isaac said he asked him too. Why not make it a triple threat? I could work. I could work. Smiley and Low Key and Anthony Gamble in a match.
Me and Smiley been doing this a lot, so
I said it's time to finally make it happen. Someone needs to make it happen.
somewhere,
So
somewhere.
let's make sure it's in New York though. It's fitting if it's in New York. So Joe, if you're listening, or hey, I know Isaac VXS still wants to make that New York debut. So we gotta see what could happen there. And here we go. We got Nikolai White as well in the chat saying, "My God, Big Ant." And here we go. Smiley's into it, so why not? So there we go.
Why
He
not?
would love to be in it. So boom, there you go. So let's talk about that then. Let's talk about for you matches like that, especially saying you want to face guys that have been truly the pillars of New York. There was one match you had a few months back that I feel like, especially when we talk about New York wrestling, especially nowadays, you can't go without talking about this guy. And I want to talk about what it meant to you, especially from your beginnings to now. What was it for you facing Darius Carter?
I mean, me and Carter is cordial. We are
Okay.
we're cordial. Like I have all the respect in the world for Carter,
Okay.
but hopefully at the last show, like I earned his respect after that match, and I personally feel like even though I didn't win, a lot of people like seen what I can do, especially with like a talent like Darius Carter.
Not you. No, definitely. And again, you saw what Nasir had to say on here when he came on. He definitely had kind words, but also he's still throwing it out there. He wanted to see if he can enrage you a little bit, get into your head, especially going into that match with Carter. So,
I mean, me and the hostile collective is like a love hate type of thing, you know. So it's like the door's open if that's the plan. But as of right now, I'm just trying to do me and just be me. But if it happens, it happens. I'm
gotcha.
big on like letting the chips fall where they may.
Okay. That works. Again, that makes sense. So let me ask you about that though. From those days to now, how would you feel that evolution has been? Are you did you take that as just a learning experience, or was this something of you need to break out far from just being a member of the collective into now just it's your own paid man here, your own. This is where paid in full comes in.
I mean, the collective to me, it's like the collective helped birth Anthony Gamble. Like Darius Carter helped me be comfortable being uncomfortable.
Okay.
So that's one thing I always praise Carter for. Like when you with when you with Darius Carter, you got to be at the top of your game. It doesn't matter if you're like fresh in, you wet behind the ear. Like if you with Carter, you got to be on it. So like he helped mold me in a way. Like I'm giving him credit, but don't let it fly over his head. You know,
Got you. Got you.
like, but for sure, like he was like a big part of like who I am today.
Gotcha. No, definitely. Again, that respect is there, but I could see the the uh the thoughts of a round two needs to happen definitely
Abs-
very
abs-
soon. Which I know. Look at that. Pete's already contemplating because now he has to throw out there. One has to wonder what would have happened if Nasir wasn't ringside. There you go again. Maybe this is what we need to see. We need to see a clear cut winner. We need to see a round two. And again,
maybe maybe it would have been a new We Are Wrestling Grand Champion.
there you go. That's what you want to hear right there. But oh, here we go. Isaac just throwing another option now. Oh, this one's a little different. As we have Gamble versus Jimmy Lord in an exploding steel cage.
I'm game. Game. I'm
Love
game.
it. Love
I'm
it.
game. Make it happen. I'm game.
Isaac, there you go. You got ideas
I'm
for
game.
VXS now. He's down for what it is. And here
If
we go.
Jimmy
Not
Lloyd's
before
down,
me.
I'm down. I'm
Nick,
game.
we got Nikolai White saying, "Not before me, buddy." Is that wanting the match with Gamble or a match with Carter? Where are we going here?
I mean, hey, 2 weeks. That's all I say. 2 weeks. Two
You know
weeks.
what? Let's go into that. Let's jump into that because I know that's why Pete's here. I know that's why a lot of people are here. Let's talk about that. As it's going to be the 6 train scramble as we are wrestling presenting Deja Vu Friday, September 8th is going to be Osito versus La Chica Clara. You got Matt Awesome, you got Elijah Eden, Nikolai White, and then you have Anthony Gamble in there. Let's talk about this. Your thoughts going into that and just the field in there. And you already got one of the participants in the chat right now. So
Right.
your thoughts going into that six train scram?
I mean, to me, honestly, since I stepped foot in We Are Wrestling, I have raised the bar. From when I debuted on a pre-show that no one expected me to be on, I raised the bar. When I faced Lucas Chase, and we raised the bar, and then last show, me facing Darius Carter, I extended expectations. So to me, everyone has to get on my level. That goes from Osito to Clara to Awesome to Eden, and especially Nikolai, because I think I'm like the only person in this match that been here since the beginning that had so much to prove, and I proved it time and time again. They're still trying to prove themselves, still try to earn opportunities. If Nasir wasn't there, I'll be champ. There's no question about that. Just saying.
Look at that. Here we go. Nikolai. Okay, Nikolai clarifying himself, saying not before him. I guess that Grand Dragon Championship there, that Grand Championship at We Are Wrestling. And here we go. Now he's saying he's gonna school everyone, and now he's I guess he didn't like that comment. He told you to chill with it, to relax a little bit.
I mean, hey, the clock is ticking. It's 2 weeks.
There you go. Again, if you guys
I'm
haven't
not much
already,
for words, but if you see my body of work, it speaks for itself.
definitely does. We've seen it in person. We've seen what that force can bring. Again, why you are paid in full and why even with Jabba to yourself, they're calling you that heavy hitter of the group already. So it's
As it should be.
yeah.
That's family. That is
Hey,
absolutely family.
So you know what? Let's talk about that then. Again, we talked about that scramble, but let's get into that because I feel like the people want to know, and I can imagine. Again, I'm not trying to pry anything, but I'm going to show a little clip here, and then I want to ask your thoughts and just what's going on here. So we're going to show the clip, and we'll be right back.
Night, night,
So,
night, night,
so
night.
again, everyone wants to know what was it that what happened here? What was it that made you decide? You know what? Not only are we just gonna get Calvin Tankman looked like he almost had that championship in his grasp, and
Almost,
then we get this. What
almost.
what what's happening here? What made you decide? You know what? It's looking good to be a part of Jobber Tier South. It's joining that family right there.
The opportunity presented itself, and I took it. When y'all approached me, we had words. Days leading up to the event, he seen how I was being mistreated, and he offered me a spot in the group, and I took it. And why why would you not take it and make a claim on Calvin Tankman? It's Calvin Tankman. I feel like when I joined Jobber to Yourself, it was on Calvin Tankman. It proved the point. It proved I'm now. Like,
Okay.
come
So
on.
I have to ask then. You said you were being mistreated by who exactly? Because again, you're one of the captains at the Fallout. You're one of the mainstays of especially the new breed at Battle Club. So who is this that you're being mistreated by?
If you know, you know. I ain't gonna give them too much clarity on it.
Okay, okay.
If you
I,
know,
I
you
just I'm just trying to again get some
you
sort
you
of answer for the people. This
you,
is what we're supposed to do here. You know?
you trying to start it.
No, 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 no. Again, I'm being how I've had
Yeah.
every member of Java to yourself on here. I've been neutral with this. I've been just trying to we're trying to get answers from all sides here.
They
We're trying
warned
to
me about you. They
about
warned
me.
me. Yeah. You gotta pick a side. You gotta pick a side. You can't be job tears and you can't be prolific. There's
I,
no neutral corners. There's no
that's what I've
there's no
been. I've
mutual
been neutral here.
there's no mutual corners. You have to pick a side. You have to.
I've tried to
Everyone know
stay.
everyone knows what my lariat do. That's all I'm saying. That's all
Again,
I'm
we just saw it. We just saw how it took out Calvin Tanker right there. So
one
yeah,
of the biggest
definitely.
stars in MLW.
Yeah, I you
Come
know
on.
you, you make a point there. You make a point. But again, so we're gonna what am I looking at, Pete? Hold on. He says just look red. What am I looking at? I'm trying to again trying to get out of a scenario here because we're trying to be neutral here. It's all good here. We're trying
There,
to be.
there's no neutral corners. You're either job to yourself or you're nothing. It's us against the world.
I got you again. That's what I'm asking. What was it that made you decide this was the way? What was it that just got you into that? Because again, it makes sense. You're looking at who Jobber to yourself has. The gold is there, the fortune is there. Everything is working in their favor. But after what happened with Ya and Joakim, I gotta imagine. But again, you're the captain of the Fallout. Can you agree with that notion there?
I can agree with whatever is best for business. If
Okay.
if Joakim want to step on Jobber business, then he got to get dealt with. No one's off limits. It's us against the world.
Got you.
In
Got you.
simpler terms, we are death row.
Got you. Again, I would make sure again. I'm not trying to escalate anything here. I'm not trying to make this less than a cordial conversation here. So we're gonna we're gonna keep going. There we go. What's Pete saying here? It's plain as day why Gamble was frustrated enough to do what he did. Uh, Pete, but this is a conversation here. If I say okay, we have to have a nice combo here. This is what the podcast is about. Again, I'm not trying to overstep. I'm just trying to have a nice conversation here with Mr. Gamble. That's all. So we're gonna keep going. Uh, okay, Pete. So why is he not in a title match then? I'm gonna throw it on to you then, because he says captain is nice, champion would be better. So Pete, why is he in this matchup right here? And
Right.
why is he not the guy that's facing Rob Killjoy in a few weeks? We throw that to you, Pete. We're
I
gonna get
mean,
hard hitting it. The questions
I'm
right.
watching that match closely because whoever walks out, just know I'm waiting on the other side of that curtain. Whether it's Rob Killjoy, Ichiban, doesn't matter.
Got you. There you go, Pete. When you're ready to answer, oh, let's see. See, Pete. Now Pete doesn't have any responses. Now Pete's quiet. See, Pete likes it. Pete's the one stirring things up here. He's trying to get me in trouble. I'm trying to do a nice, cordial interview here, and this is what we get.
Trust
Eh,
me. Trust me. Gold is coming. Gold is coming.
There you go. And we got the big boofa in the chat here. Desmond Cole saying, "Solid dude right there." There you go.
That is another dude. Well, I say another title that I got my eyes on, you know?
There you go.
That
That
remarkable title is beautiful, you know? I'm,
definitely is.
I made my debut recently, so I'm keeping my eye on a few people. You never know when I'm coming, but I'm coming.
Got you. So let's go into that conversation. We talked about the match that is confirmed. We talked about some of the people you're looking at because you mentioned having that. That's a goal right there. Wanting to face the pillars. But who else is on that list? If you're able to tell us here, because again, I know you want to keep certain things to the chest, but is there someone you can let us know that is on that list that you want to get in there?
On on my list,
Yeah.
ha, my list is kind of long. Honestly, it's Lee Moriarty for sure.
Okay.
Brogan Finley.
Hmm.
I've been watching Brogan. It's gonna happen. That match is gonna happen sooner than later. People just gotta pay attention. That match is gonna happen. Leon Ruff,
Okay.
Jacob Fatu.
Ooh. Okay.
The list goes on. I ain't gonna hand out too many secrets, you
No,
know.
no, of course, of course. Again,
You
that's
know,
a I respect that. Again,
tell you, then they know I'm coming.
that makes sense. Of course, of course. Again, that's why I have to ask if who you can share because if you give us everything, then they know that they have the target on their back already. So
No,
it
but
makes sense.
those three men should know. Those three men should know. So just off the three names I just named, it's gonna happen. And for everybody else, keep your eyes open.
Not you, not you. So let's go into this conversation again. Again, I'm trying to be neutral here. I'm staying in the middle because I don't want issues either side.
There's no
But I
middle.
have to ask. There has to be. For right now, there's middle ground. When it comes down to it, I guess my decision will have to be made. But I'll be middle ground right now because I have to ask about this. Because especially we talked about the influence Darius Carter had on you, but there's
Right.
another man that definitely has some influence and has had a little bit of a hand in your career as well. And now you're involved in this war as well with Prolific and Jobber to yourself. So I want to get your take on it because I saw when I announced this conversation was going to happen, Auntie Lala was not too pleased, but I know Isaiah Wolf has another comment about it and just he isn't too pleased to see what side you went on.
I
So your
mean,
thoughts on this whole scenario?
like I said before, they had their chance. They had their chance, and they went with who they went with. But a lot of people don't know whether Prolific wants to admit it or not. I was the uncrowned fourth member of Prolific. Car rides, road trips. I was literally underneath the wing, and I kind of felt disrespected when Lala got the spot and I didn't. So what I did was branch out on my own, make a name for myself, and I feel like I'm doing a damn good job of it. And now, full circle later, look who you got standing in front of you. Someone that could have been standing next to you. That's their fault, not mine's.
Okay. Again, this is. I know this is gonna bite me back for saying this, but now it's making a little more sense. It's making a little more sense. Just like with the conversation with y'all, it's starting to. I'm gonna use his phrase here, and it's opening my third eye a little bit.
Open your third eye. Y'all
It's a little
tell us
more
all
clearer
the
now.
time. That third, when you open up your third eye, you see stuff so much clearer. So much.
Mm,
I don't do
well,
stuff for unnecessary reasons. I either do it because I want to or because I have a valid reason to.
gotcha. Now it makes more sense. Again, see, this is why I wanted to have this conversation. I had to ask the questions I had to be able to get to an understanding of what makes these choices happen. Okay, it makes some more sense because again, it's hard to see. Again, if you're part of the fallout here, you're part of Battle Club, you're part of all this, but to then go with a group that's kind of caused a little bit of chaos there, I had to get to what could cause this reaction. But now it's a little more understandable.
You call it chaos.
I,
I call it
I'm
reorganizing the structure of where people should be.
okay. Again, I'm using the words they've used. I'm using the words that
You know,
guys that like the boss man, Money Morales has said. I'm just trying to phrase it the way they have. I'm trying to be again neutral party here. No selective here. But here we go. We got the man himself in the chat. We got Nasir in the chat saying Gamble is the truth. There you go. Some mutual respect shown there.
it's mutual respect. I felt like, and I say it again, that night, even though I didn't win, I earned their respect. I felt like when I started, I was under the tutelage. Now you see what I blossom into, and a lot of people has no choice but to respect that. So I'm seeing where I came from, where I'm at now.
Definitely. Again, we see that growth. We see like again, you even look at that picture just years ago already. Just what a difference that makes from again. Just you can look at even at that point dominant. You're a part. You're already holding gold,
But
but then to see
it's funny how you pick a picture where we don't have gold, but when there's a picture out there with us holding gold, see,
well,
see,
this is the picture that had us. I wanted to show all three as well. Wanted to make sure we got the a centerpiece there. That was all. I thought it was a good picture. I didn't think it was a bad picture. You guys are dominant right there. Is that not a good picture? Nasir in the chat. What do you think of my picture choice? Did I mess up here? I feel like it's a good picture. I don't know. Again, no disrespect by the picture. We're talking about again the accolades here. You guys have done from that to now where you go in here, and again that was just at the start, the initial start of it all. So
absolutely.
again, that only shows where you can go, especially now more seasoned with more knowledge, more experience behind you. So it's just the telling of what could happen next.
Oh, there's a lot to come. Look, trust me, there's a lot to come. Just stay tuned.
So we talked about again. There's multiple relationships we could talk about, but I want to talk about this one here because there's a guy that definitely he's had some interest as well when I announced his interview was going to happen. So can you tell us a little bit about this partnership right here with you and the goat himself, Bobby Showalter? Here is there. What is this partnership here building from?
If you know, you know.
Okay,
I'm just leave it at that.
got you. There you go. Again, not see how again this is what
Just
happens when I'm neutral. I'm not gonna pry anything else. It's
all I'm gonna
just
say, stay tuned. Just stay
gotcha.
tuned. If you know one thing about Anthony Gamble, you gotta stay tuned because you never know where I'm gonna pop up, where I'm gonna go, who I'm gonna bring with me, or what I'm gonna do.
There you go. I'll steal a phrase from my wrestling theos. I guess you got to expect the unexpected. So,
Exactly. It's
uh, I, so I guess I didn't pick the right picture because Gamble's right, good picture, but us as champions was better. I thought it was a good picture though. It's
we ruled the kingdom, and you pick a picture where it's a nice picture, but a picture with all three of us holding gold. We ruled the kingdom. Just how Job to yourself is going to do sooner rather than later. Y'all's champ. Hey, I see the battle weight. I see the fallout. The tag titles haven't been defended in a while. I think it's time for a gold rush, if you ask me.
well, that man, it could happen. Well, you unfortunately you were close to winning a championship shot, but issues with Chris Barton kind of derailed those plans.
All right. I'm just saying, Chris Barton wants to be me so bad, so bad. He stuck his nose in business that had nothing to do with him. You want to be in the sauce so bad that you come and you attack me. Mind your business. What he needs to be worried about is making sure Dominic De Niro is healthy enough so you can go win some gold and stay out of Jobber to yourself's business. And if he got anything to say about it, he know where to find me.
There you go again, Barton. I can imagine you guys are going to be in the same building on September 8th, so Pete again might need to up the insurance just a little bit on that venue.
Listen, me and Barton ran one before, maybe twice. He can get his ass whooped again. I'm
Oh,
known for handing out ass whoopings. I don't care. And if Dominic De Niro wants some, there's plenty of members of Jobber to yourself that can whoop your ass.
well, so I guess that maybe that's something we need to see. We need to see some fighter die versus Jobber to yourself.
They
Never
don't.
know what could happen.
They don't want the smoke. They
But
don't.
here we go. We got King Caesar in the chat saying, "So why you pull that BS on me for?"
He's collateral damage. That's just what. Listen, you was in my way, and you had to get dealt with. That's just what it was. No, you had the choice. You could have told Joakim that night you didn't want the match, but you chose to say yes. So you had to get dealt with. We all have options. We all we're all men. We all make decisions. You made the wrong decision. That's all it was.
I'm starting to know this is happening a lot to King Caesar because he did the same with you. He did the same with Aaron Ash. He's just got to make some better choices, man. Just doesn't end well.
It's okay if you don't want to wrestle. It's okay if you don't want to wrestle. Just understand who's standing across the ring from you.
Oh. So he throws out these. So you couldn't see me face to face though.
Really? 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 Okay.
Oh, there you go. Now he throws the respect cap. There you go. I guess he's trying to save himself there. He threw some respect at the end. I don't know how sincere that was, but he threw some respect at the end there.
Because he knows what it is. If you stand across the ring from me, you're gonna get dealt with. That goes from anybody. That goes from 2 weeks from now, a month from now, a year from now. If you have something I want, or if you end my way, you're gonna get dealt with.
Got you, got you. Like I said again, I'm just we're cordial here. Everything's good. I'm not trying to be in the way. So we good,
I
right?
can't tell. I can't tell. Like you had the ops on here, bro.
I had again. I was being neutral though. I had to be. It's the podcast is for everyone here. Everyone could come on.
It's job to yourself or nothing.
Well, I've had almost every member on. So
Exactly.
it works. Rayhan will be coming soon as well. So
And when
it's
you had members of Jabba to yourself on, you had your most views. Because we are must see, right or wrong.
this is
We
true.
are must see.
This is true.
The numbers speak for itself.
I can't deny you there. So, but let's go into this then. Let's go into especially how you said it was from a young age already that you knew you wanted to be a part of the business. You wanted to be in this. Who
Absolutely.
was it for you that influenced even more? That was like, you know what? It was based off seeing this that I had you had to get in there. And then especially that influenced the style we see you compete in today.
It, all right, so this is going to sound crazy, but when I seen Rikishi fall off that steel cage and take that bump, like a man his size doing what he did back in the day, and then seeing what a big man is now, it was like, well, he made me feel comfortable being who I am. And then others came along and kind of like piqued my interest and like the fighting style, certain move sets. So Rikishi is like a big part of like of a lot of stuff I'll do in a match, or say like he wasn't scared to be him. If that was like fashion wise, look wise, he was just him. You as we are in this business, you have to be comfortable being uncomfortable, and you have to be comfortable being in your own skin.
I like that. And that's a phrase you've said it multiple times here. I have to ask for you, what was it that made you get that comfortability though? Because I can imagine that the beginning phases, it has to be uncomfortable. You're still trying to find
Right.
who is it that you are. We have to find what is Anthony Gamble, what is paid in full here. So for you, what was it that helped you get to that comfortability? What was it that made you find this is who you are?
To be honest with you, just being in the sauce, if that makes sense. Just being around wrestling. It
Okay.
doesn't even have to be wrestling. It's just like interacting with people, meeting the fans, like meeting different promoters. Like you get comfortable being you. And for me, like a whole lot of people is not comfortable being them. They'd rather be someone else than be themselves. But you can't be someone else and still be you. You have to be 100% you. And like that's what Rikishi like taught me in a way on screen, if that makes sense.
I got you. Definitely, yeah. So to be able to do something like that, especially when at a time it's a big dude that could do the things he did, being able to move the way he did, and then hey, as much as he was a dominant dude, he also had that time to have a little fun in there. So
It's always time to have fun, especially when you love it. Like for me, if you don't, wrestling is not a sprint. It's a marathon. So if you don't love it, you're gonna, how do I word this? If you don't love this, you will be out within 5 years. And that this is me being honest. You have to love what you do because you're on the indies. You don't get paid a whole lot, so you have to love the craft of wrestling in order to. You have to love the craft of wrestling in order to get better, to be you. Like I'm big on being me in and out the ring because that's what the diehard fans resonate. They don't want to see you be somebody else. Like just speaking on Bray Wyatt when he was Husky Harris, like me watching that, that was like a big dude like that being comfortable going out in trunks. It's like it wasn't really done. So he was uncomfortable being he was comfortable being uncomfortable. And like that shed like a whole lot of, if he can do that, why can't I? Type of thing, you know?
Gotcha.
That's why if you ever see me drop the singlet, that motivates me. Like
Okay.
that's like, well, okay, now now you're gonna die. Basically. Like now you're gonna die.
As it like that's just the again finding that comfortability in a point where it's like here we are.
Right.
Now it's over for you, and that's where you get night night.
Night night.
Got you. Got you.
Everybody know what my lariat do. That's all I'm saying.
Again, I
That's
want
all.
no problems. Why is it every time you say that you look at me a certain way? Again, no problems here. Somehow I feel like I'm gonna blame my co-host on the knuckleheads. I'm blaming Toe for this because I feel like he told you something.
I
I,
mean,
I'm blaming Toe for
say
this.
who told me what, but I'ma just say, y'all know what my lariat do, and
Uh,
if she want the smoke, she know where to find me.
Again, I feel like that business is definitely not done yet. Like I said when
To
I had
me,
y'all on here, so
to me, I want to wrestle the best wrestlers in the world. I don't care if you're male or female. A wrestler is a wrestler. If you're the best, I'm coming for you. Point blank. Period.
not you. Again, that's respectable right there. Here we go. We got Matt also in the chat here. Also, I guess he's ready for the eighth. Let's saying you're what's going on, Matt. But here we go. He throws this out first, saying, even though we wrestling September 8th, I do respect you. There you go. And then he says, I felt that lariat. It hurts, but I got up.
Barely, barely.
Matt, you might not want to say that now because again, September 8th is it's not far away. We're only a few weeks away from seeing that six train scramble. So you might not want to. We just had this combo. I'm trying to make sure he's calm with me. Don't piss him off.
Everyone that pissed me off finds out the hard way. But that's just another lesson people have to learn.
Or that again, Matt, that might be you on September 8th. Sorry, brother, but hey, better you than me. But I do want to talk about this too, because we talked about you being a captain at the Fallout, getting to influence and help the next generation. But I want to ask for you, how was it that you found the Fallout shelter? How was it that that bond formed and we get to see you now part of not only the Fallout shelter, but a part of that Battle Club Pro roster?
So when Battle Club announced Fallout, I was intrigued. Like, I'm pretty sure everyone in the wrestling world was intrigued. And then once they like start dropping like the coaches like one by one, and then like they had a vignette of like their set coaches. I was like, see, now that's a place you need to be. And now it's like seeing what it was to what it is now. I personally feel like that's the best decision I made personally. Because even though he didn't value what he had, Steve Pena, he's a cold hearted killer. Then you have Masha Slamovich, you have Michael Law, you have Jorge Santi, Prince Ahmed, Akira. Like the staff has grown since Fallout has started. So to me, it's the best school in New York. That's just my take on it. I mean, we can agree to disagree, but look at the talent that is there. That within the next few years, I guarantee you will see people from Fallout just pop up different places. I will never knock the school. Pena, something different. Joe Kim, something different, you know? When you get and jump into this business, I'm gonna just leave it at that. But
Okay, okay. I'll agree with you on one part. I'll agree, especially with what the Fallout produces and what the Fallout has done. The second half, again, especially with Money Morales, I don't know. Again, I don't feel like he was trying to get involved in business. He was just trying to make sure the show flowed a certain way. That's all. I'll
The show was going great. The show was going great. We didn't get all the dubs we needed, but at the end of the night, who was standing tall?
This is true. This is
We
true.
have to. We need to get back on track. Maybe get a new game plan. But we were standing tall at the end of it.
Well, I feel like I shouldn't say this. Unfortunately, Mr. Black wasn't standing much at the end.
See,
I had to bring it up. I'm just saying. Fortunately, again, it revolves. The story comes full circle because of Darius Carter. He wasn't standing at the end.
love hate. Darius is going to get dealt with when the time is right.
I got you. I
When the
got you.
time is right, we will get to that matter. That's all it is.
Understood.
Timing is everything. And that's why, job to yourself, look what happened to Calvin Tankman. Calculated strategy. So you never know when we're gonna come.
Again, like I said, I'm glad we got no problems here. I'll put Matt Olson's comment here because this is good at least. The Fallout is hands down the best school in the city. Yeah, agreed, agreed. So we can all agree on that. I feel like we're all calm, cool, and collected on that one.
5 years from now, you will see Fallout sprinkled all over the wrestling world. Either if that's WWE, AEW, Impact, MLW, Japan, if that's Noah, if that's the UK, trust me, you will see you will see a Fallout person everywhere. Mark my words.
There you go. But brother, I don't want to take up too much more of your time here. This has been great. But I know you're a busy man, a lot of things going on. So I want to start wrapping this up with this final question here. And that is for paid in full Anthony Gamble, what is the end goal?
In what sense? The end goal of what
Let's
what
maybe
I,
you're for career wise, the end goal of that. You mentioned a lot of great places there. Is your mark going to one of those, or is it possibly even just getting to tour around and be just getting to have a little bit of everything?
when it's all said and done, I want the name Anthony Gamble to be remembered as one of the hardest working men in the business. I'm not the biggest, not the strongest, not the fastest, but I'll work my ass off to get to anywhere I have to be. So when it's all said and done, if I can be remembered as one of the best, I'm okay with that.
Gotcha. That's perfect right there. And again, I definitely, with the trajectory of where you're going, I definitely don't see that being hard for the name Anthony Gamble to be remembered. I definitely to be spoken about for years to come.
It's gonna be in bright lights one day. One day.
There you go. But guys, if you haven't already, please make sure you're following Anthony Gamble on all of his socials right there. Go follow him on Instagram, official underscore Anthony Gamble. Go follow him on Twitter or X, whatever you want to call it now. Go follow him at Anthony Gamble
But
right there. It's whatever it is, just go follow him there. Make sure you stay up to date so that way you never miss where to see Anthony Gamble next. See what Jabba Staff is up to. But again, make sure you're there on September the 8th. Next time you see him right there, it will be in that 6 train scramble at We Are Wrestling. See what will happen when it all goes down in the Bronx. And then again, stay tuned to all things happening at Battle Club Pro, at the Fallout Shelter, and with all things happening with this man right here. Thank you so much again for joining me, brother. It's been a pleasure. And for everyone watching, thank you so much. And as always, don't forget to be wise, be genuine, be real, be better people, respect the craft. And we'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.